Hey everybody, it's your man James, back again with another new comic book review for you. Today we take a look back to 1987 to Fantastic Four number 299, written by Roger Stern and with art by the great legendary Sal and John Buscema. So let's get right into it. Basically, the story opens with a scene we're all familiar with, arguing between the Thing and the Torch. Just the typical stuff you see, that typical character interaction they have, always rubbing each other the wrong way. And it turns out what happened is, I didn't mean to, it's just that, Ben really came through for us when we were fighting Umbra. So I figured maybe he was getting over being stuck as the Thing. I wanted him to feel more like one of the family again, so I asked him to stand up with me at the wedding. What? You're marrying Ben's old girlfriend and you were stupid enough to ask him to be your best man? Bad timing, huh? Real bad. So She-Hulk goes off to find the Thing to try to talk to him about it. And she finds him, and he starts to go over his history with Alicia Masters, who the Torch is marrying, and how their relationship developed over time. Meanwhile, back at the Fantastic Four's building, they're opening the new Freedom's 4 Plaza, and so there's news on that, which is where the Torch is at. You can see here the Thing not too happy dealing with any of that. So while they're at the ceremony, the Torch slips out, and so does a certain well-known photographer that we all know. And so he heads out and runs into Spidey. Spidey and they have a little tete-a-tete, he goes, I'm a real good guesser. You want to talk about it? Yeah, maybe I do, Webbs. I did something so stupid. Stupid for most people or stupid for you? Classic Spider-Man humor. Give me a break. This is serious. It all started when I asked the Thing to be best man at my wedding. What? Whoa, back up. You're getting married? You? He's like, he doesn't want anyone knowing about it. And he goes over how, you don't mean Alicia Masters, the Thing's girlfriend? She's not his girlfriend anymore. They broke up some time ago. Even so, you still asked him to be best man? Oh, brother, what were you thinking? At the time, it seemed like a good idea, okay? And while they're having a little heart-to-heart about it, some eavesdropping goes on, and, lady calls up, hello, Daily Bugle Newsline? Is this where you get $50 for the best news tip of the week? Oh, it is? Well, so, future things. So, meanwhile, the Thing and the She-Hulk make the rounds, still talking about his time with Alicia, how the relationship developed over time, and then his time on during the Secret Wars. Then we get to a key moment here, which I really thought was powerful. I showed up on Alicia's doorstep, determined to tell her it was all over between us. It was over, all right. While I'd been gone, she and the Torch had become an item. I wasn't ready for that. I might have hurt Johnny bad if it hadn't been for Alicia. I could barely feel her slap me, but no punch I'd ever taken hurt worse. I mean, that right there, that's some great writing right there. And then he talks about how, he left to go out west, join the wrestling brigade that he did in his short-lived series, and then as he started to further mutate, and he went to go hide, and then how he's been brought back in. And he goes, yeah, well, I couldn't expect him to understand. Nobody can know what it's like being the Thing. Ain't nobody who's had to go through what I have. And just a minute. You seem to think you're the only one who's ever suffered. You think you have problems? My cousin Bruce has had to live with being the Hulk. Big deal. Doc Banner ain't even aware of most of the stuff he went through as the Hulk. You call that suffering? Yes, I do. Being the Hulk was a walking nightmare for Bruce. He'd wake up in strange places, never sure what he might have done as the Hulk or whom he might have harmed. Yeah, but he could still wake up human. I couldn't. Looking human isn't everything. How would you know? you're big and green, but you still look like a woman. I'm a thing, and I'll always be a thing. So you really get the torment of Grimm here. So She-Hulk decides to give him a little kick in the pants to get him to, to try to wake him up. And so we get the classic hero versus hero battle, she knocks him around a bit, and he goes, "That's what I get for going easy on you. I ain't holding back no more." And then she screams his yell, which doesn't go over well. "Now you done it. It ain't bad enough that you insult me and knock me around, but you had to go and yell my yell. My yell." So now it's on. And they really go to town here, showing no quarter given, and it's like, "Ben, are you okay? I'm a lot better than you're gonna be." So they end up destroying some buildings as they're going through the fight. And then She-Hulk sort of warns them, maybe we better stop this before, our fan club's on the only building we haven't destroyed. And he looks over there and is like, and it turns out it was all her plan. He goes, "Why, you sneaky, you had this planned all along. You knew I was going to demolish something sooner or later, so you brung me to a place where I'd do some good. Pretty slick, huh? Ha ha, you know it." And then the Torch and Spidey show up. Torch apologizes, and the Thing accepts to being his best man, and that leads us into, the next issue is the wedding. This issue to me is like a typical point of the whole thing. Is there was no real supervillains, there was no bad guys, but it was all about the characters. It was all about the interaction between the characters. And the Fantastic Four has often been called Marvel's first family, and this issue sort of exemplifies that. Even someone who's become a member like the She-Hulk did, they wasn't there at the beginning. They all feel like family. Spider-Man, sort of like the brother to the Torch, giving him a hard time. The animosity between the Thing and the Torch, always needling each other. It's all there. That whole family vibe. These are people who, they may get on each other's nerves, but they still care about each other, and that really comes across well. Roger Stern, is really great with the character dramas and the interplay between them. Like I said, and it's really this story is really mostly just a recap of the Thing's origins, the Thing's history. There's a lot of recap, but it's recap with a purpose. It's not just we just don't have a story to tell, so let's just retell origins. It's all this is to make you really come to feel for the character. Again, like I said, this moment right here, that is just that's like heartbreaking. You really come to feel for the character. And then his whole screed about how he can't be human and he's always going to look like this, and no one understands what that is. I mean, it's like the sorrow, the anguish of the character really comes through. You really feel the troubled nature of the Thing. And then, like I said, and then the way they sneak in the action here with a little pointless hero on hero action, but it's just very well done. John Buscema, and Sal, his brother, they worked really well together here, I thought. And it's well known that John has said that he was never really a big superhero fan. He didn't feel like that was his forte. He could have, if he could have, he would have been happy just drawing Conan and Thor the rest of his life, and that would have been just fine with him. But in spite of all that, he still does such a great job with the characters. The Thing looks like rock. She-Hulk is strong and yet beautiful. Does a Spider-Man, posing type stuff really well. The web swinging. It's he may not have liked superheroes, but he did them well anyway, and that's the true sign of a professional to me, is when you can do something that you don't like or don't care for and yet still do it well. That is the true sign of a professional, and that's definitely what you get here with this with this stuff from John Buscema, inked by his brother Sal. So the Buscema brothers definitely just do some great work here. So this is definitely a recommend. I give it 7.5 out of 10. This is solid work. This is exactly what you want. This is exactly what the Fantastic Four should be. This is the kind of stuff that's missing in modern superhero comics. This kind of character dynamics and just really feeling for the characters. You don't feel for like these newer characters they have or these replacements they've made for icons. They don't know how to make you feel anything for them. But here's how it's done, folks. Right here. This is what you want to do. You want to make people you want people to feel for the characters, and that's exactly what this is. This is basically all drama. Despite the fact there is a fight at the end of the story, it's all about drama. It's all about character interaction. This is how you lay the foundation for people to care about the characters, and this is why these characters have stood the test of time for decades. It's why they are the icons that they are, and everybody knows them. They've been seen in various media formats. This is what helps make that possible. This is what you want. So definitely check this issue out if you haven't already. It's just, like I said, just a typical and prime example of the great character interaction that you find in the Fantastic Four, and is why they're called Marvel's first family. Because above all else, that's what it's about. It's about the family and all the relationships within that family. Even to extended people to the family, and that's what it's all about, and that's really comes through in this issue. So definitely give this one a check if you can, and I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Well, that'll about do it for this review. If you liked what you heard, hit the like button there and give me a comment. If you didn't, give me a comment anyway, because I'm always eager to hear what you gotta say. And make sure to smash that subscribe button there so you never miss another review or anything else that I have going on. And until next time, take care.